Hey, beautiful people. Welcome back to my channel. Guess you can call it a podcast. You guys, we're starting off today's episode saying fuck you to everybody who voted Ice Potter of the Month. Why did y'all do that? Why'd y'all do that? And yes, I can start off saying fuck you because I don't have 1,000 yet. So I am not monetized. So I can do whatever the hell I want to do. So if you would like for me to watch my mouth a little bit, go ahead and subscribe. That way, once I get to 1,000, I'll have to adhere to these rules. But right now, I can say whatever. And what I want to say is fuck you to everybody who now is going to have us listening to Ice all month long. He is going to really play it up like he's doing something. We're going to have to listen to that voice, that Cookie Monster voice all month long. And it started today. It definitely started today when he's like telling Mark, yeah, he worked for it. You didn't work for it. Dude, you didn't work for it. And anyway, you guys, we're going to start going a little bit backwards. Sorry, I might be a little all over the map because I didn't realize I had so many episodes under my belt. I really have been trying to get them in, but they split a couple. They did one with Karen Civil and nothing to see here. Like there was nothing to that episode. It wasn't terrible. I did actually watch the interview, which I'm surprised, but it was nothing. I didn't think I really liked Karen Civil because number one, they call her a scammer, allegedly. I don't know. I'm not calling her that. Number two, the first time I was really introduced to her was when she was on the network and she had a podcast with another girl. The other girl was fine. However, Karen, her very first episode, she was like, well, if you don't know who I am, you can Google me. And I was just like, I don't like her energy. I don't like it at all. And she was still kind of speaking as if she was all that when she was up there. Yeah, I kind of made Joe, shop for me and let's just go shopping. Yeah, I'm not really a fan. But again, I watched the episode. It was fine. Nothing really to talk about there. Today's episode, let's get that out the way. IKYFL Jean, and I love the way he says Jean. Nothing to see there either. Unfortunately, he had a nephew that passed and he just seemed sad. So the first part that I saw, he was just a little somber and a little boring. And so I had to tap out, you guys. Sorry. I don't know if it was a good interview or not. I will say the beginning of the episode was pretty funny, though, with Mark talking about how his wife got a massage by a man. And apparently she texted him and said, oh, my God, it's a man, although I wanted a woman and I'm uncomfortable. And there's this whole back and forth with him trying to be supportive. And then come to find out, she ended up getting the massage by the man, the black guy. And I guess he had some sort of like super black name. So he was definitely a black man. And she texted talking about how great it was. And so just as I said, Mark's wife is able to get her shit off and do whatever the hell she wants to do. And that is what Joe said. And that is what people are saying now. I saw a video earlier where somebody was like, they put Mark's wife on the docket or whatever. And I said, oh, but I got in trouble when I said, where's Mark's wife? What is she doing? Why does she never have her child? Why is she not taking care of her own mom and taking her to church any of the Sundays? Like, I can definitely understand you guys working together and picking up slack. But I swear to God, it just seems as if Mark always has the kid and Mark is always taking care of her mom. Beautiful, beautiful thing. However, where is she and when does she help? I'm only going off of what Mark tells us because I definitely had somebody come in my comments like, oh, it's really surprising to have a woman want to have patriarchy come into Mark's marriage or whatever. For one, I never said that. And I didn't say anything about him being a man and her being a woman. I said help. I don't care if the roles were fucking reversed and it was always her with the kid or whatever. Then I would be saying Mark should help. But no, Mark makes it seem as if he always has the kid and his wife is always out of town or she's kicking it or she's at the content house writing. She's alone. She's doing whatever the hell she wants to do. And listen, as a woman, maybe I should be championing her. Like I said, I don't know who it was that came and said all that to me in the comments. I just stopped engaging because y'all know I can get shitty back. But it's just like, dude, I'm not about to argue with you. I don't know if it was a guy or a girl, but it was so funny because then I see a clip on Instagram of Mark and his wife talking about patriarchy. And I said, oh, okay, that's funny. But again, no one said anything about it. All I said was Mark needs to get a little help. Step up and say I need a little help. But anyway, I digress so hard. But yeah, so she got this massage and it was funny because of course, Flip was like, oh, hell no, that wasn't going to happen. And Ice makes a comment like, yeah, I would already know her, like he would already have his girlfriend tracked or whatever. And I said, it's interesting that you don't want people to play into that narrative about you being like a super stalker, possessive boyfriend. However, you now want to feed into it, Mr. Potter of the month. This is what you guys did. This is what you guys did. But that's okay. We move. So again, today's episode was not that great. Once Wyclef Jean left, they once again talked about the massage again because Joe wasn't there to hear the story. And then, like I said, that is when Joe was like, damn, your wife gets her shit off. She gets to do whatever she wants to do. I can't remember what else they really talked about. It wasn't too much, but it was a decent, time. They talked a little while longer. It was upbeat. It was fine. They definitely had a good episode when Mona was there. It was a very fun episode. So I can't hate on that. It was called On the Record. I think it was episode 951. And we start off finding out that there's a reporter there. So there was a reporter there and they acted a fool. When I say they talked about buttholes and asses forever while the reporter was there, I was just like, Jesus. Of course, they were talking about envy and all that stuff. But Mona said Trey went out with her. Trey met her out in, I think, Delaware or something. And Joe had no idea. But that was cute because she called herself Auntie Mona. Mona did Docs by Demona. And she told the entire story, although I had already watched it. But even when she told it on the pod and was just like, yeah, this is what happened in the end, everybody was like, oh, okay, thanks. And then people in the comment was like, damn. And I'm like, yeah, I'd have been pissed off had I not seen it. But now I'm used to them giving spoilers. So whenever they talk about stuff, if it's something that I'm interested in watching that I have yet to watch, I'll just fast forward. I'll just keep hitting that skip button or whatever until they're done because they will spoil the shit out of something. I do want to talk about Joe working with Dick Wolf. And you guys, that is a huge deal to me. I don't know if it's not a huge deal to him, but it's a huge deal to me because I know that for years and years, Joe has loved Dick Wolf and his shows, and SVU is his shit. And he has talked about Dick Wolf a lot. So for him to now be working directly with him, it's a big deal to me. It's very inspiring, and it shows that you can get to where you're trying to be. I'm just trying to get to 1,000 right now. We're on our way and I'm trying to get there. But yeah, I think it's a huge deal. So hopefully he is very proud of himself because I'm proud of that. And so piggybacking off of that, you guys, let's talk about a Patreon episode where Imani was there. Well, I can call him Imani or Imani. It doesn't matter. They both fit. But he was there and they were talking about, getting to your goal and making a lot of money in podcasting, et cetera, et cetera. And of course, he was doing his Imani thing where he was just very negative. I'm sorry, Imani has such a negative view on life, and he's saying how, certain people have a cap where you can't really get to this amount and that amount. And they were trying to explain to him, no, you don't. Like, if you work hard enough, you can get to wherever you want to be. And he's like, well, not if you don't make, messy content and all that. And yeah, Imani is just so negative, you guys. He really is. I don't like it. Side note, his sons are super cute. He put up a couple pictures of them. They both look just like him. Super cute. But yeah, Imani got to change his outlook. His whole negative situation, and I just don't like it. Like, I feel like, why is he here? He just brings shit down all the time. And it's always so serious with him. Everything is a big deal. Everything he takes seriously. And don't nobody want to hear that shit. Then him and Flip end up getting into it about who sings better, Luther Vandross or Stevie Wonder. And he's saying Stevie Wonder sounds better. And I don't know where he got that from. I love them both. Love them down. However, Luther can sing his ass off. Stevie Wonder's cool. He's all right. A little yang around the house. I'm just kidding. Stevie Wonder can sing. However, we're talking about Luther. But when I say he was getting mad, and it was actually funny because Flip was trying to really, really rile him up, and it was working. It was working to the point of Joe sitting there like, hey, hey, Flip is trying to rile you up and you're like, you're letting it work. I see you trying to get them all out of pocket and it's working. But it don't take a lot to rile Imani up. But let's talk about this mayor, you guys. So the mayor of Atlantic City came and he was dressed down. He wasn't dressed up in a suit. And I think maybe that is the reason why they were a little disrespectful to me. I'm sorry. I just feel like they weren't treating him as if he was a mayor. I understand he's a little hood. He's a little street. And he is. He really is. However, he's still a mayor. And I don't think all those jokes were really necessary. They did a lot of sniggling and giggling like some little bitches like they normally do. It just wasn't cute. And then this is the first time ever in the history of history that Joe has stood 10 toes down on saying something negative about somebody, even when they're in his face. He has never done that before. And with this, it's like the mayor kept saying, yeah, I'm fixing this, I'm fixing that or whatever. And Joe just kept going back to, yeah, but it's shitty out there. Yeah, but it's really not great out there. Now, I haven't been there, so I don't know. People in the comments were saying, yeah, it is shitty. However, he's trying, I guess, from what he was saying. Now, the problem with the mayor is this. The mayor would not answer a question directly. However, he is in politics, so there is that. But, the mayor talked a lot about himself. Like, as soon as he got there and he's, like, running down his resume and running down what he is and what he isn't. And he wouldn't let you get a word in edgewise. Like, he just would not stop. He wouldn't stop. But when he did stop, I did think that they were borderline rude. So I'll just say that. And he took it in stride, though. I think he was very happy to be there. It was a cool enough interview. It wasn't too long, wasn't too short. But yeah, we didn't need it. It's been a hell of a lot of interviews and people have been complaining. And once again, I'll say this Patreon, I don't know. I'm starting to ask, is it worth it? Apparently, all these people are paying this money for clips. And literally, these clips are coming out right after the Patreon. So it's kind of like, I don't need to really pay for it if I could just still go same day, everything. So yeah, we're still on the fence about keeping Patreon, or at least keeping the $25 tier. Might be moving down to 10. I don't know. I gotta see. Trying to think if there's anything else that I left out. Oh, you guys, they keep talking about some rapper Spesh, and I have no idea who he is. Y'all know. I don't know. I don't even think I've ever seen him in life. Don't know a song. But for some reason, they have talked about him on 3 different episodes. And I don't understand why. I don't understand what the big deal is. But I don't even want to get into what they were talking about because I just don't understand why they keep talking about this person that I do not know. So we move. All right, you guys, we're going to finish up with Joe's birthday party that's coming up. And the fact that it's so cute that Mona is saying how excited she is. And I guess he invited some of her people, probably Juicy and Phelps. But she was saying how she's getting something made for it. I thought that was very cute. And then we have Flip saying that he's having a suit made for something he's working on now. But he's also having a suit made for Joe's party. So him and Linky will be there, I think. So that's huge. And then they talked about Mark and his suit. You guys died laughing because yes, they was talking about how it was gray. And he was like, it was not gray, it was black and white. He be getting mad. And they were like, no, it's gray. Like everything he wears is gray or it looks gray. Mark just be looking rusty and dusty. Sorry, good doctor, but Jesus. So yeah, he said it was black and white. I don't know. I hope that he is able to get something fitted and custom made and something really, really nice, a different color that you can actually see it's not gray, and something that doesn't look like it's just hanging off of him because his head is so tiny that everything else just looked too big. I don't know, but we're hoping that his suit is done right this time. And, let's hope that the good doctor has the wife with him. I think they're working on whatever they're, allegedly, they having some issues per Flip, and I kind of believe it. I'm sorry. I do think they're working on whatever. I could be wrong. I probably am wrong. Hopefully I'm wrong. Listen, I love love, and I want everybody to get back together and just fall in love. But I don't know what's going on with him and his wife, but again, none of my business. So we move and we're done. You guys, like the video, please. Like I said, it helps to push it out to other people. If there's anything you disagree with, I understand. I understand because everybody can't agree and we all have our own opinions. Let me hear yours. I am very open-minded, so you can probably sway me on something. We'll see. But yeah, shit. I'm sorry. I am not going to cut this out, but I forgot what I was supposed to say. If you are still here, you are the real MVP. Thank you very much. Again, please consider subscribing. I would love to have you. I am trying to get to 1,000 and it is absolutely free. It's so fucking free. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Smooches.